Welcome to the Biz Show, sponsored by InvestQuire. And now your host, Barry and Lisa.
Hi, Barry.
Lisa, how you doing today?
Oh, wait a minute. I thought I was Lisa.
You are Lisa in a Coltrane, right?
And the Cult Jam, baby.
Yeah, that's it. Hey, well, it's a beautiful day. A little windy today, huh?
Yeah, it's so pretty out. It almost looks like a fall day.
We've had a lot of rain lately,
Yeah.
and it's subsided, and here we are. The sun is actually out. I still do see a lot of clouds.
We're going to have a great weekend according to the forecast. It's going to be sunshine, 70s.
Do you ever trust the forecast?
It's usually the opposite, but I think it's been accurate lately.
I saw a Saturday Night Live skit with Chevy Chase a long time ago. And I loved it because he was playing the weatherman. He says,
Oh, my God.
And now for the weather. And he opens up the window and he looks outside and it's dark. And he says, and the weather is dark and continuing dark until turning light. Back to you, John.
That is not AI at all.
No, that is not.
That is a human being
That is
giving
human
you the
being.
the weather forecast.
It is.
Oh my gosh.
You
We're
guys-
so excited about this topic, although
It's
it's really
scary.
going to create a lot of questions in your minds because it's reality. We're in a
It's-
really weird flux of transition.
We are, and this topic, episode number 5 is the emerging industries that companies and
Are
people are investing in. And it's scary, really. Some
Right.
of this stuff we're going to talk about is so cutting edge, and you got to look at the line of ethics and where does it pass that and go beyond. But people are pushing the boundaries with technology and with their businesses and trying to figure out how to get to the next step.
Unfortunately, they think it's going to be a groundbreaking solution, but they're not realizing potentially what the disadvantages or the repercussions could be.
Well, that's where we have to proceed with caution, right? The fact remains that as technology grows, we have to make sure that we're monitoring that technology and using it to our best
Wisely.
advantage. Yes. We got to watch out for the nefarious bad actors out there who want to take that technology and use it against society for their own better good, too.
Just because it's new and cutting edge doesn't mean it's the right way to go.
This is true. But let's
Let's
jump
talk about
in.
the trends.
So the first and the biggest trend out there is quantum computing, right?
Right.
So a lot of universities and large companies and a lot of rich people are investing in quantum computing.
An example of that is what? The designer drugs that they're creating specific to a person's DNA?
Yeah. And we'll jump into a couple topics further down the line on that, but this is where let's talk about what quantum computing is first, right? You have to think of computing at a whole different level. Forget the computer or your laptop sitting on your desk. Forget about 100,000 of those sitting and working.
Right.
Quantum computing is much bigger than that, right? It's even bigger than blockchain. And the fact that this thing can then take and do billions of calculations in a nanosecond.
Just super fast.
Super fast. Creates a lot of heat too, right? That's one of the byproducts of fast computing is heat.
That blows my mind.
Well, if you like the warmth, go stand in the server room, right? Because it'll be warm in there.
Well, it's kind of like when I have my laptop and you're sitting on the couch and then all of a sudden it's super hot and it's like radiating my legs.
Yes.
Like, whoa, what's going on here? A little
That's
laptop.
it. It's got a little fan on the bottom of
Is
it.
that what they call body heat? I don't know what's going on. Me and the laptop have a little thing going on.
Wasn't that a movie? I think Body Heat's a movie.
Oh my goodness. How do we get off the topic?
Definitely. But listen, quantum computing, you think about moonshots instead of penny stocks, right?
Right.
We're talking large computing capacity.
And that's exciting to people in the tech world.
It is. Well, it is because faster is better in the tech world.
Right.
Let's dive back into really where things kind of got started, right? If you recall, or some people might recall, maybe they might not. IBM came out with a computer back in 2004 called Watson.
I haven't heard of that, or I don't recall.
It was a big computer, and it could think for itself, and it was a brainiac.
It was the first one that
I remember there
It's
was
trending in that direction. Huh?
It was. There was a big challenge of the number one chess champion of the world, and it played chess.
Oh.
Well, it won.
Of course.
Right? As I recall, don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it won. Watson did. But, actually,
Interesting.
IBM discontinued it in December of just last year. So
Yeah.
just last month, they
you're
discontinued Watson. They have a new program
'Cause they
now.
came out with something
There's
better.
something better. It hasn't been announced what the name of it is or anything like that,
Oh.
but it's supposed to run circles around what Watson was.
Right. I'm sure.
So, but the companies that are investing in this are IBM, obviously, Intel, Microsoft, Amazon, and Apple.
Oh, okay.
Right? So, and they are spending billions of dollars in quantum computing because they can do faster transactions. Amazon, right? They want to
Oh my gosh.
blow through their.
I ordered something yesterday, and then by 5 o'clock, I had it on my door.
I did too the other day.
I just
I ordered
cannot
something
understand that.
and it was there in like 3 hours. I'm like, what?
It's wild.
Okay, good. Can you do that with my groceries?
But it's such a great feeling when you get it that fast.
Right. So just think, if we dummy this down into simplistic terms, it's basically a big computer that can solve hundreds of millions of giant puzzles super fast. And you take those ones and zeros that the computer uses and stuff like that, and it can do triple, and not even triple, hundreds of calculations on several different things. You can give it 100 different projects. It can work on all those 100 different projects at the exact same time.
That's so crazy. I remember the dial-up internet.
Oh.
We'd hear the...
Yeah, all right, you're dating yourself now.
Oh, my God. We couldn't even get the computer fired up to get any information because it took like 10 minutes. I would run out of the room and run back and check it.
I ran back in the day what they called a BBS, a bulletin board system. And that was somewhere that people could dial in and we shared information or emailed each other. Before email was even message one another back and forth.
Wow. Love it.
That was way back in the day, right?
So
But today, instead of talking megabytes and gigabytes and terabytes, we're talking gigabits.
Yep.
Right? So just something that is just so super powerful. Are they there yet? Not yet, but the technology is something they're working on, and people are investing in it as much as they possibly
Coming down the pike, everybody.
can. It is.
So trend number 2, we've got green gigabytes, clean tech.
Clean tech and sustainability, right?
Right.
So I remember, as you were talking
What
about
do we do with
modems.
all those hard drives? I have 2 at home.
Yeah. Doorstops nowadays.
Oh my gosh, it's like I don't want to, pollute the environment and throw it away. And then I'm like, oh, maybe there's some really valuable information in there. But do I even
But they're
look at it anymore?
But
I
that
don't.
is green.
Yeah.
That is clean tech, right? And if you think about it, it's that's not clean tech.
No,
but
it's not clean
it's
tech.
dirty tech.
That's where we came from.
Where we came from. And really, you got to look at the progression of where we came from. I remember back in the military, we had these big 2-foot disc with tape on it that we would reel through like a reel-to-reel, and we'd store
my
data on that
gosh.
stuff.
Wow.
And then I got a computer. I think it was a compact computer, and it had a cassette player that I put a cassette in,
It was
and I
a
would store data.
cassette?
It was a cassette.
That was before the CDs then.
Yeah. And then
Wow, you
you
are
would
older
come
than
out.
me.
I am. But then they would come out with floppy drives. They had a 10-inch floppy drive. Maybe it was 12-inch floppy drive.
I
Then they
remember
went to a
the floppies.
5-inch
Everyone's
floppy
like, do you
drive.
have your floppy?
Yeah. And then to 3.5. And you know
Yes.
what? I remember the 5-inch floppy disk would only hold 128 megabytes.
Yeah.
That's nothing today.
And so you needed like a dozen of them. They'd sell them
Right.
at Office Depot for like a pack of 24.
Yeah, exactly. But then they came out with that little
The thumb
3.5,
drives.
and it would hold 1.44.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. And so things, as they got smaller, they started holding more and more
Yes.
data. And so clean tech really is about getting rid of that stuff.
Eliminating all those
Going
chemicals.
to solid state.
Yes.
Yeah, chemicals is where we're heading on that. So, they came out with solid state drives now, stuff like that. So think about thumb drives, right? It's a computer chip, and you're storing data on it. There's
Yeah,
no moving
it's
parts.
amazing.
But now the clean tech piece of it also is all the chemicals that are involved in creating that stuff, trying to use sustainable products and things that are good for the environment instead of, blowing all that stuff out into the river and then out to the ocean.
Which makes me think about like the battery operated cars. Like when those batteries fail and they're done and they have to install a new battery in the car to make it run, what are we going to do with all these batteries? That's like opposite green. I mean, that's opposite green.
It is.
So I have a problem with that.
And here's the dilemma that I see when we come to the electric cars, so on and so forth. If you have an electric car, you bought your electric car because you're trying to save the environment, be green. However, you plug it into the wall, and you're using electricity that's coming from a coal-generated plant. So are you really saving the environment?
It's an oxymoron.
You got another thing that's sucking up more power at the end of the day.
I would love to have a car. And that's what's wrong. That's the thing with technology that we're trying to raise your awareness around. Is like, are these things really heading into a good direction? Even though they seem to provide so much efficiency, is it really going to serve us in the end?
I think eventually we will get there, but we're going to have to try several steps along the way. Some of it's going to work, and as I've said many times, failure is part of success.
Of growth.
Right?
Absolutely.
So, and then, just the sustainability of it. I do know now that they, like on the Tesla cars and some of the electric cars, when you step on your brake and it creates that friction, they take that friction power and put it back into the battery. Yeah. So that helps a little bit.
So that's even expanding, right?
Yeah, it is expanding. But honestly, if you're going to get an electric car, maybe you need solar panels on that thing to power it up, right? Then you are fully helping the environment.
Can you imagine? You have solar panels off of the roof of the car.
Yeah, there you go.
Hilarious.
Instead of that moon roof, you got solar panels.
Wow.
Or at least at night, when you go home and plug it in, it's plugging it in off of
a solar panel.
Solar panels and stuff
which
like
a lot of people do have installed.
Yeah.
So trend 3 is like human touch. We touched on this on the last podcast last week.
We did.
AI and robotics.
We had a conversation with one of our listeners and somebody on our Facebook, the Biz Show group, and we discussed AI and the human touch, right? And this is a little bit alarming in the sense, and we go back to the quantum computing and another topic that we're going to be coming up shortly.
Well, we were dealing with it in that conversation just on marketing alone.
Right. That
and
was
running
just
your business practices and systems.
Little topic. And then displacing humans.
This is like a trend emerging in an industry of having like robots perform a surgery.
Yes.
Without a doctor even in the room.
Designer drugs built based off of your DNA.
I mean, that's crazy. Did you say that you read a case that it's actually happening somewhere?
I didn't read a case. I actually saw a documentary. I think it was on Netflix.
Oh, my gosh.
Where they are now using a computer. Person's got surgery going.
Wow.
They're on the operating table, and they wheel this robotic arms, and it's got scalpels and other things attached to it and stuff like that. And then the surgeon is standing behind a computer screen and looking at x-rays of the patient and manipulating and moving those arms and scalpels to do the surgeries that they need to do.
What if
from
there
the
was
computer?
What if the internet went out?
the power went out. You're sitting there and they're doing open heart surgery.
Oh,
they pull your heart out, and all of a sudden,
do not sign me up for that.
Well, they're not on the internet. That's a sole, complete, closed system.
Yeah.
I hope.
I'm exaggerating.
You are, but there are a lot of malfunctions that can happen, right? If it's robotics, there's moving parts. Moving parts fail and break down.
Right.
What happens if it's doing surgery on you and it leaks oil into you?
So this is like, having the surgeon be able to do 3 patients at the same time, because all they do have to invest in is the robotic arms and the scapulas and all that.
Well, hopefully the surgeon is in control of that.
Yeah. But he could do 3 computer laptops. You have 2 right in front of me right now.
I do.
And so,
over here, but yes.
I mean, is that called multitasking? I mean, where are we headed? Like, time is money?
I think I'm past multitasking. Yeah. I quadruple task nowadays.
It's crazy, yeah.
And the thing is, but more importantly on this too, we're talking medicine, right? And so we are talking, healthcare here and how they're using it, but also now they're going to take your blood, they're going to get your DNA, and then they can take that DNA, they can design a antibiotic or a drug specifically for your DNA only. It works only on you.
Right.
I saw, this is, movie, and sometimes, reality mimics movies, right? And think about Star Trek, right? And they had the communicators. Well, guess what? We all have cell phones now. But I saw a movie where they had a designer bullet. And you could target a person.
Oh, my God.
And this bullet would follow that person around corners and stuff like that to make sure that it got him. And that scares me, right?
That's so scary.
It's like, okay, so, and you see guns that, you can't pull the trigger in the gun unless that gun's assigned to you and your DNA and your fingerprints and all that stuff.
But movies are telling the future. I mean, think about it. When we were watching Back to the Future, that really cute movie, we saw these big, huge picture frame flat televisions on the wall. It was like, what is that? That is so weird.
I have a 65-inch at home
and
now, and I want an 85.
Have an 80-inch one. I know. It's like, oh, man. But so, movies will tell you what the future is going to look like.
Just keep an eye out for, on Netflix and Hulu and Amazon for the next show.
Exactly.
One thing that I really liked, there was a show called Hawaii Five-0, the new one.
Oh, yeah.
And they had this computer that was a table, and they could flick something up to a screen up on the wall, right? From that computer, just go flick, and poof, it would appear up on the screen.
Crazy, yeah.
Well, that technology's there. I've used it with World Intermed and stuff like that in medical records where we can flip up x-rays and stuff like that and just slide them over from one computer up to a monitor or whatever the case might be.
It's like you feel like a magician.
You do. So that technology is, in the robotics piece of it, and the AI in healthcare is something that people are investing heavily in. We're talking trillions of dollars going into this now, right?
Right.
So, the next trend that people are investing in, space exploration, right?
Oh, yeah.
We're talking, you've got Richard Branson, you got Elon Musk. Guess what? They're taking civilians out to space.
Right.
And the price has gotten a lot cheaper. Instead of, billions of dollars, in NASA and stuff like that. Now they are charging $200,000, to go up to space for X amount of hours or minutes or whatever the case might be. And with that, also, their space capsules, spaceships, whatever you want to call them, they're reusable, right? They come back, they land themselves and stuff like that. So
due to technology,
you get it's all ever evolving, and that is, Elon Musk, he had one of his rockets blew up, and he lost what they said $3 billion, in a snap of the finger.
Right, just pennies for him though.
I guess I don't know how much he has or whatever the case might be, but
it's not going to stop him.
It's a tech.
Yeah.
And, they're not the only ones investing in it. There's other billionaires and companies and agencies and universities that are all investing in this stuff. So you as you and me, are the normal people, we look at that, we can invest micro pieces in this stuff like that. We can't invest billions of dollars because I don't have billions of dollars.
Such a fascinating industry.
But it is.
Yeah.
This next one scares me a lot, Lisa.
The fifth trend is biorevolution, hacking the code of life.
Yes.
Wow.
So, we talked about in topic number 3, the human touch and healthcare and stuff like
and
this.
Designer drugs, but this is really...
designer drugs, but this goes even further.
I mean, the rich were doing this for years now. I mean, they were able to order up their baby sex. Like, if I want a boy, what do they call it, spinning the sperm or something?
Well, so now we're talking about CRISPR. And we're talking about, and CRISPR is an acronym. It's a long acronym, and
gene
it's hard
editing.
to explain, but basically it's gene splitting and editing. And they can now go in with CRISPR and stuff like that, and they actually can take your DNA.
That's so wild.
If they find something that's messed up, they can cut that piece of the DNA out. They can regenerate the right DNA mix and then place it in and then put it all back together. So now you've got whatever you want. Maybe you want a kid with blue eyes, blonde hair. I don't want cancer. Oh, we want them to be 5'11", and whatever the case might be. We're close to being there.
Yeah, and us humans are doing that with our dogs. We're like mixed breeding them and coming up with all these new breeds.
Remember,
we used to just have a Lassie and a German Shepherd.
You can clone your...
And now we have all these Labradoodles and Cockapoodles and Havanese poodles. And
it's been going on for a while, but now they're starting to do it in humans.
It's right. I know. It's incredible.
And that's scary. I mean, are you robotic or are you homemade or are you
homemade
test tube made? Well, test tube, right? They made that sheep, that test tube sheep.
There's a movie about that too. Yeah.
Is there? Crazy stuff. So, the thing is with this, they can cut out mistakes, and then they can replace those mistakes with the right information.
Well, hopefully we could do amazing things like curing cancer or Alzheimer's and dementia.
I think that's, in essence, where they're heading. But, there's other areas that are scary. They're getting
sidetracked a little bit. They're like, whoa, we just did this.
Because, they can create hardy crops and stuff like that, if you're in a region that might get a lot of snow, maybe they can create corn that tolerates snow. I don't know, but, that's just kind of forward thinking.
Exactly.
All right. Our next topic, though, is something that everybody knows. Everybody uses it. And most of us have heard it as the Internet of Things. Today, it's now the Internet of almost everything.
So that's like the smart homes, smartphones, smart dishwasher, smart refrigerator.
They're all connected to the Internet.
Yeah. Well, people could run it from their phone app. They could say, pour me a glass of water on their phone app, and the refrigerator is tied into your phone.
Lisa,
and
my
you can
front
walk
door.
in the door.
My front door is I can open my front door right now.
Yeah, or starting your car from while you're still inside your office.
Yeah. Yep. So this is being heavily invested, obviously, by companies like, Westinghouse, Maytag,
GE.
Yeah. I used to work for GE. So,
I know.
but not there in that piece of it.
They weren't there yet. Yeah.
No, back in the day. But there are some cool things. But again, with that comes responsibility, right? How do you protect the privacy? Baby monitors, right?
Yes.
You connect it to the internet. Who can see that?
Everyone.
Right?
Yes, exactly.
My wife and I, we have on YouTube, there's live cameras that we can go check out, and we do. We check out, Colorado, Aspen, Colorado, the ski resorts and stuff like that. It's live. So you're seeing, hey, that guy skied by. He's live skiing by right this minute.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You're people watching? I didn't know this.
We go shopping, right? My wife goes in, she looks around. I'm outside just watching people.
Yeah.
I like to watch people.
Yeah, but you could do it from your computer, too.
I observe.
Yeah.
And then in my mind, I think about
the trends
business
of what people are
trends
doing.
And stuff
yeah,
like that.
And it's all tied together.
So it is all tied together.
Which brings us to the trend number 7.
Decentralized, right? Blockchain.
We talked about that last time, too.
We talked that in our last episode.
But that's a very big emerging industry.
It is, right? We're talking cryptocurrency, bitcoins, and stuff like that. But even going past that, government agencies are starting to use this. Amazon uses this, right?
Yeah.
This is how they can keep track, along with quantum computing and blockchain, how they can have hundreds of thousands, millions of transactions going on in one single minute.
Crazy. All over the world.
All over the world. But blockchain is about decentralizing the mainframe computers and having all the information stored in one place.
Yeah.
It kind of puts it out now on peer-to-peer. And so it's stored over several hundreds of thousands computers or servers, so on and so forth.
Worldwide.
Yeah. But, trades, the stock market, all those things, those are blockchain.
Right.
Right? And companies, universities, and people are investing in blockchain left and right. Because that and quantum computing are the two biggest targets that everyone is moving towards in technology.
We have access to it at our fingertips.
Right.
Yep. So trend number 8, the mind meld brain-computer interfaces.
Yeah. So again, another documentary I saw.
This is so cool, though. I kind of like this.
I like this one. This one's kind of neat, but it also kind of reminds me of Terminator.
Yeah.
Robots.
Exactly.
But an amputee had his right arm was amputated.
Yes.
From
above the elbow or something.
Just below the elbow.
Yeah.
And so they built a bionic hand.
Wonderful.
An arm that they attached it to him, and then they trained it and him to actually
be able to
move the fingers and the thumb with his mind and with his muscle.
Yeah.
And it works.
It's such an incredible invention.
So he's now got this hand that is basically bionic, but it works. And he's working with his mind, right? And so that's really one of the things that a lot of universities and hospitals are investing in, is how do we do this? Because let's face it, there are a lot of people who need.
Oh yeah. That's a big industry.
Look at
big money there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't our dentist friend, isn't he inventing something too?
Yeah, he did invent something for dentures and stuff like that.
Clinics and
he's
trials.
already got the patent and they're working on clinical trials right now.
Fantastic. Yeah. So it's emerging. Definitely a big one. I remember back my son had, I don't know if you all remember the Wii game.
Yes, the Wii.
Instead of Xbox and Atari, Nintendo or whatever.
Yeah, I like Xbox.
Yeah. The Wii was cool because you'd be moving your arms and it would create the, like you said on the video, the same motion. So you could play tennis virtually. Just by swinging your arm around.
By swinging your arm around, and then you lost control of the controller, and it hit the TV and broke your TV, right?
It was so fun. I loved it. I played with him.
You get your exercise in, and that was a way of trying to. The kids nowadays, like
that was so high tech back then.
When you and I were kids, we'd have to go outside and play, ride our bikes around and do stuff. Today's kids are inside playing on their computers and Xboxes and stuff like that.
Electronics.
So this was a way to try to get them some exercise.
To be active. Yeah.
But it's gone now. What happened to it?
The Wii is gone. There's a later one.
The fad is kind of come and gone and changed and stuff like that. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, the next topic.
Yes. Do we really want to go here?
No. This is one that scares
Barry says no, flat out.
Well, we're talking about generative or artificial general intelligence. And this one is
going on, though.
This is Terminator coming for you. Because this is
right
AI
now.
Teaching itself how to learn. And it's no human intervention, right?
There's no level of human intervention.
Yeah, it's
computer teaching computer.
AI is going out, scouring the internet, learning everything. Yeah. And it's teaching itself and growing and getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, which will have us humans have a lack of control over, right? And then we're
at some point there's going to be that threshold that is crossed, and I worry about that. Now I'm a tech guy, right? And I see this stuff, and one side of me says it's intriguing for this to do that, but the other side scares me to death.
Well, let's think about it. Like, how many times have you been, like, even just thinking a thought, and then you wake up and there is a marketing message right on your phone, or even a text now is coming through. Not even on Facebook.
You and I were just talking about this, right? And my wife and I, we had conversations, and we're talking about a product.
Yes.
And I swear to God, not more than a half an hour later, I might be on my social media, on Facebook or Instagram, and guess what? There's an advertisement for that product we were just talking about.
Yeah.
We looked at each other and just shook our head and go, really? Our
crazy.
Phones are listening to us.
It's very scary, and that is the exact word that I use all the time. This is scary.
You know who's investing
heavily in this? And then I'm like, oh my gosh, is there a camera in there too? Can they see me sleeping, brushing my teeth? I don't know what's going on.
Well, your phone does have a camera, but it's pointing downward right now, right?
Right? But
so is mine.
How does it know those algorithms?
Because they're listening.
So people think the Facebook Messenger is like the CIA. Don't use Messenger. But it's not just Messenger. It's everything.
It's everything.
It's the phone.
You know, the thing is Chat GPT. There's now, various different programs out there. There's Bard. Microsoft has Copilot. They can write code for you. So you just tell it what you want to do, hit enter, and it writes the code.
It's a perfect example because we're so computerized and so...
We're getting lazy.
We're actually, what is the first thing you do? We all grab our phone. We don't even have alarm clocks. We grab our phone. Our phone is our alarm clock.
My phone is
and then
my
we
alarm
start
clock.
Scrolling, and then we are actually being trained by these computers, just like AI training AI. We are becoming a robot and becoming...
we're becoming
almost
robotic.
Brainwashed, and we have electronic fields running through our blood, probably.
Well, my brain probably needs to be washed once or twice anyway. Might even have to go a third time.
Oh man, you need a new computer chip in there, do you?
Oh,
we could design one for you.
Well, we back up a little topics back, and we probably could.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, this is really interesting. I worry about this a lot. There are companies out there, right? DeepMind, OpenAI. Adapt AI. DeepMind is backed by Google.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
OpenAI, guess what? That's Elon Musk.
There you go. Yeah.
So here's these people who are investing in this technology. Now, of course, OpenAI and Elon Musk, he really was using that initially for the Tesla, right? And how to be able to self-drive cars and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. That's just a stepping stone.
Yeah. I have a car, and I've got the smart cruise control. So I set the cruise control. If it comes up against somebody that's going slower, it'll back up.
Back up by itself.
Yeah, and slow down. And then when that person moves, it speeds back up. I also have the lane controls and stuff like that. I admit, I use that stuff, right? I put on the cruise control because that way I don't have to keep tapping the brake in rush hour traffic.
Right.
It does it for me. And then the lane controls and stuff like that, I can sit there. Now, I still keep my hand on the steering wheel, and if I don't, it reminds me every minute, get your hands on the wheel. But it'll start going, beep, beep, beep. But those are niceties to have.
Yeah.
Right? But it also...
makes you become lazy.
It makes you become lazy. You're not as sharp as you used to be.
Exactly. We're losing our edge.
Yes.
Our cutting edge, right? Our own personal.
So, who's investing heavily in this is Amazon and Apple and Samsung. Right? Because, again, our phones are listening to us. Amazon, because of everything that they're doing. I just read Amazon's got a antitrust lawsuit against them right now.
Oh.
So they're saying they're a monopoly. The FTC says they're a monopoly, and so the lawsuit's going to go on for years, I'm sure. Man. But they either want to bust them up into a bunch of small companies, or they need to back up on some of the technologies that they're doing.
It'll be
some of the practices that they're doing.
Yeah, it'll be like the O.J. Simpson case. It'll just keep
How
going.
So?
Those attorneys.
Oh, just keep going on and on and on.
That'll
I
be
know.
That'll be a big case.
Speaking of that, right? So in the O.J. case, they introduced DNA.
Right.
And they lost a lot of the jurors because it was too technical for them to grasp and understand.
Yeah. They didn't know enough about it.
Right.
Yeah.
And here we are.
So we're trying to sharpen your minds on this podcast, you guys.
We are. So the last topic is really the unknown, right? We call it the X factor.
The X factor, right?
Use your imagination.
Where are we headed?
What's next? Flying cars?
Yeah. Look in the movies. That's where we're headed.
You
whatever the movies are about.
What was the movie, The Flying Car?
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future.
We are not there yet.
I'm a pilot. I would love to have a flying car.
We can't even drive on a freeway. How are we going to do it in midair?
Well, that's why I got my car doing it all for me.
It's all going to be beep, 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 telling us when we're not in our air lane.
As a pilot, it scares me to have everybody up there flying their cars around and stuff like that, because there are, there's rules in the air, and there's freeways in the air, just like there are freeways on the ground, right?
So it's going to interfere with the pilots out there.
Yeah, and people are going to go different directions. For instance, we have, you're going to fly a certain altitude if you're flying north. If you're flying, and those could be the odds, right? 1,000 feet, 3,000 feet, 5,000 feet.
So what generation do you think that's going to come? What decade?
I think we're probably a good 20 years away from it still, in my opinion.
So it could be in our lifetime.
It could be in our lifetime. But who knows? The Jetsons and Rosie the Robot.
They show it all the time.
Yeah. The movie AI, and they had maids that were robots and stuff like that.
Right.
Those are things, as I said, use your imagination. What's going to be the next thing that is going to...
Exactly. And there's those people out there that want to be the inventor of the next thing, or the discovery of the next thing.
Well, hopefully it's something good.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's something that's going to help society and not hurt us.
You can never take away the human interaction. Nothing will ever replace that.
Nothing will. I like being touched. I like touching. And I say that in a nice sense, right?
Just the G-rated sense.
Yes, the G-rated.
Yeah, we agreed to keep this G-rated.
And that's where I was going, right? There's nothing, no.
You didn't sign that document yet, but I'm going to make you sign that.
No. I'm going to make you sign it. What are you talking about? All right, guys, listen, thanks a lot.
For joining
We're wrapping
us.
it up here.
Yeah, we'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Perfect. Have a great week.